It's nice to see you again. I am your good buddy, Mr. T. Today, we will be doing Yunnan Sourcing's 2018 Drunk on Red. Sorry, don't get me dry. And as a first for me, I will be using spring water from a spring near where I live. It comes through the mountain. I'm getting chocolate notes from the dry leaves, much like chocolate. If you're a chocolate lover, I think you'll like this. Yeah, very chocolatey. Very, very chocolatey. Brewing at 200 degrees. This is in a chunk because this particular tea comes in a cake, and I broke this chunk off, so it might take a little while for the flavors to really open up. The slightest hint of that chocolate note. Feeding piggies. Let's get the wet leaves here. Oh yeah, definitely chocolate. Some vegetal notes, like kind of like spinach, I think. Some brown sugar, caramelized sugar, like caramel and chocolate. There you go. The chocolate note is very, very present. I'd almost call it, if I didn't know better, I would say it was scented with chocolate, but it's not. Alright, let's get to the first steep. Let's get to the first steep. If you hear any noise in the background, that's my brother watching television, so ignore it. I've got a ceramic gaiwan coming in that I'm going to be using primarily, and save this for other types of tea. Let me break this up a little bit, see if I can. Hot. It's hot. Give me a second. Sometimes I do this and I want the tea to hurry up and open to expose its vents. There we go. We'll call this the first steep. Yep, definitely chocolate. As far as I've heard, Yunnan black teas are very like chocolatey, vegetally. Caramel. Excited, guys. Never used spring water before. Let's give this a shot. Vegetal note, spinach note is coming through. Kind of getting the chocolate a little bit, and the sweetness. It seems a little bit bitter at first, but the sweetness then starts to click to the stick to the tongue. minerality, which is probably from the water because it comes straight through a mountain from an artesian well. About 4 gallons of it today for today. Sweetness starts in the back of the throat. I'd assume it's more bitter now because I'm using the more chopped up leaves than I am than the ones at the edges that were full leaf. I don't understand why they pressed it into a cake, but definitely a minerality there. Chocolatey, kinda. Oops. Smell. That reminds me of, for all you snus users out there, the Etan snus. I forgot to leave the top off in between, so it's probably going to be a little stewed. Second steeping, 15 seconds. Should have all the color now. And the intensity. Well, it's starting to get there. That vegetal note is pretty wild. Yeah, this is mainly chopped leaves now from that. I don't know why they would do that. I like Yunnan sourcing, but sometimes they do things that don't make any sense. That'll contribute to the bitterness of this tea. Not sure why he did that, chose to do that. So you can see it's starting to get dark. Let's take this light off. See, it's starting to get dark. Kind of boozy. Alcohol. Reminds me of the smell of General McMyra snus, that is a whiskey-based snus. So basically you can say tobacco and alcohol. Vegetal comes through a little bit. Let's get this next one going. Seconds for the third, 20 seconds for the third steeping. Just waiting and waiting. The lid off. I tend to take the lid off most of my teas to keep them from steaming, unless it's a hard pressed tea. Now you can really see the color. It's really starting to come through. That boozy note is still there, along with the chocolate and caramel. Some burnt sugar, maybe some citrus fruits, like bergamot. This would make a good breakfast tea to have with your breakfast or to have in the morning. Slight bitterness. Or the water. I can't tell. There's a sour tinge to this. Probably because the leaves are cut and broken. I don't understand why they would why would they make a tea like that. Chocolate note is there. Seems a bit stronger in flavor with this water. When you swallow, you get the chocolate notes. It's warming right here. Right here, you can feel it. It coats right there. Maybe it's the water. A little bit of that boozy notes coming through. Could be the water. Oh yeah. Boozy note is definitely in the leaves. Kind of has a smell reminiscent of one of the white teas I have that I'm going to have to review, which I might do tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I might do it my next review to be the white one, that particular white tea. Well, I've got this kind of water to do it. I mean, I debated on buying a water purifier that goes underneath the sink, but I just couldn't justify spending the $50 on it this month. I might check Amazon to see if they have one. They might. Who knows? Who knows? 15 points if you get the reference. Says number 4. As you can see, it's still retaining its red color. It's not quite, I don't know, maybe you see it better in this light. It's not quite as dark as what it usually gets. Maybe because the leaves are chopped, it's being spent faster. Yeah, that sour fruit note is there now. Booziness. Something definitely reminiscent of that white tea that I have. I've had this tea a few times now. It seems like the further you get into the cake towards the bing, the center, bing hole, whatever you want to call it, the more different the flavor is. 'Cause this isn't what it was like last time. Last time it was more smooth and sweet, had a sweetness that stuck to the tongue. This water must be changing it. Speaking of which, I gotta reheat the water. It's a bitter there's some kind of aftertaste. Could be the water though. I'm brewing this at 200 degrees. This steep that I'll be doing this time, brewing this time, is steep number 5. I think I've got 8 steepings listed here. So it'll be 30 seconds. For my Celsius, friends, this is 92, 93 degrees. Boozy note is definitely coming through. It's like an aged whiskey almost. It's interesting. Sour fruit like apples, chocolate, spinach, it's more sour, but not in an unpleasant way. It's got a little bite to it. Not like extremely bitter, but it's got a little bit of a bite to it. But again, that could be because of the leaves. I like this cake, but I don't know if I'll buy it again because of the. It just seems the leaves towards the center seem to be all broken and stuff. I may try to break up the rest of the cake into individual leaves if I can. Some baker's chocolate sourness, but with, like, imagine you took a milk chocolate and a baker's chocolate and mixed them together. That's what this would be. That's the taste this has. I don't understand why you would take a black tea and use chopped, put the whole leaves around the edges, make it loose enough that you can just pull a piece off, but have very chopped leaves in the center that are very tight, that are tightly pressed. I don't understand that. I'm not complaining because it's good and it's decent enough. I could probably in the morning if I wanted to, I could probably add some lemon to this. make a, or bergamot to this, make a nice Earl Grey, maybe some sugar. I wonder if this would make a good masala chai. Now I'm getting, that's weird. I'm getting like a savory note, like a roasted note. Maybe something floral, very lightly. Interesting. There's definitely some minerality to this. I'm not really tasting any chlorine. At least I don't think I am. This water must be full of minerals. The sweetness kind of is in pops. It pops in and out of existence. Like 1 minute you'll be drinking it and you'll get that little bit of an edge, that punch, and then the next minute it'll be sweet. So it's good, pretty good for that reason. Chocolate note. Something else. I'm also getting very, very light, very light, almost indetectable baked notes, which is weird because I'm not sure if they baked this tea, if they roasted this tea or not. That fruitiness comes second place to the chocolatiness. I'm not quite getting the vegetal notes. Not quite getting the spinach notes. This steep is a little bit more golden red. I'm kind of disappointed. I figured it would last a little bit longer considering it was in a clump. Yeah, this is all mainly chopped leaves. Why would you do that to a black tea? I don't know. Very disappointed. See, the last couple times I drank it, I was fine with it because I was getting whole leaves out of it. There was no bitterness and it was sweet. This time, it's got a bite to it. That could be the water too. Two more brews and then we're done with this tea. This one is 40 seconds at 200. Keep the water on heated mode. You can see some of the chopped leaves in here, but you can also see what looks like little tiny fine hairs, maybe. But perhaps that's the water, the minerals floating around in the water. Who knows? Yeah. Slight chocolate notes. Very, very light now. Very faint. Slight roast notes. At least to me, anyways. That's what it smells like. That's the closest thing I could describe it to. I'm not really getting much else. I think this tea is about spent. Definitely minerality. Chocolate, very light, very subdued. This tea is almost dead. Sourness is still there, along with the minerality. You can feel it's slightly drying, very slightly. I can feel the chalkiness in my mouth and in my throat. Brown sugar for sure. Just very light though. Very light caramelized brown sugar. Very, very light. This next one is the last one I'm brewing for this session. I'm gonna break the cha down and see what happens. We're gonna get wild in here. Alright. Let's see now. "45 seconds for this brew." Yeah, this tea's dead now. It's golden brown. But it seems very viscous. Sour note, like apples still there. A little bit of spinach now. Very mineral-like water. chocolate. Let's see, apple. Kind of, maybe. A little bit of vegetable and spinach. Little tiny hint of sweetness. Last steeping. Chocolate. Brown sugar. Generic tea flavor, but the chocolate, well, I wouldn't say generic. Chocolate is still there a little bit. So is the sweetness. It's a very long, lingering aftertaste. Smell, I'm definitely getting that chocolate. Ended up at the end there just tasting a very, very light hint of chocolate and more minerality than anything else. Conclusions. The base tea is good. The water may have been affecting how much mineral I was tasting in it, because it can happen. It may not quite be that minerally to you. Maybe my water is very hard because I'm using spring water. Still have an aftertaste of like chocolate and slight fruit. Not really getting much from the cup. Would I buy this again? If it was in loose leaf form? Yeah. I'm puzzled though. Scott usually has very, very good products. But why would you take a black tea which is meant to be whole leaves unless you're drinking Indian black tea? Press the good stuff at the edges and then have all of the more chopped and broken stuff at the center. I don't quite understand why you would do that with a tea of this quality. I could understand if maybe it was inferior quality, but this is good tea. What I had at the beginning, when I first started drinking this, proves that this is good tea. It's very, 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 how do you say, high grade. I just don't understand why you'd do that. To be honest, it takes away from the tea and takes away from the score I'm going to give it. Because it's in the form it is, I'm going to give this 7 out of 10. I would give it an 8 if it was loose leaf. But because of the chop, I give it, chop leaves in the center, I give it like 6, 7. Well, it's been a pleasure drinking with you. If you have this tea, please feel free to drink along as you see me drink. May you find peace and happiness, contentment and tranquility in tea. Thank you. If you like my channel, if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. If you subscribe, great. I do my best to reply to all my comments that I get if I can. That's all. Thank you. Goodbye.